Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Virtual Racers Club. We're here looking back on Thursday evening's action from the GTMC Season 5, Round 9. It's almost over. It's almost done. This is the penultimate round. It's just this at Monza, and then we go on to the final round at Suzuka. So, what is the GTMC? GTMC is the Gran Turismo Manufacturers Championship, where our competitors are asked to choose a manufacturer, and they represent them over 10 rounds using the Group 4 and Group 3 cars of said manufacturer. They'll qualify for, I think, 10 minutes on the super soft tyres in the Group 4 car, and then go on to a sprint race, and then there's a short break, and then they take to the Group 3 cars of the same manufacturer. And we have had quite a season so far, and it is very tight at the top, unbelievably tight this far through, going into round 9, and I tell thee, there's only 8 points dividing the top two. So I will read the table to you, and then we'll go through to the manufacturer's table, and then we'll have a look at the screen for what their qualifying is so far. Right, then. At the top of the championship table is Liam Anfield on 359 points. Homesick Alien is second on 351 points. Shiren is third on 326 points. Skyjacker fourth on 310 points. Then we have Uncle B. Darren in fifth on 253 points. Jokers is sixth on 187 points. Pat seventh on 179 points. Then we have a Jim in eighth on 171 points. Turtle is ninth on 154 points. Ranger is 10th on 147 points. 11th is Electric on 134 points. Shadow Rider 12th on 100 points. Rido is 13th on 87 points, followed by 14th Bunny on 54 points. He's on the same points as 15th Simon, also on 54 points. Alphanut 16th on 33 points. Then 17th is GT Racer 9 on 19 points, and 18th is Mason on 7 points. I'll take you to the manufacturers, and it's the lowest. If there's two cars of the same manufacturer, it's the lowest one that puts the points in the pot. And at the top of the table is Nissan on 335 points. In second place is Porsche on 321 points. Subaru are third on 253 points. Jaguar fourth on 190 points. Then we have BMW in fifth on 187 points. So it's a tight battle there between Jaguar and BMW. Only 3 points between the two of them, with 2 rounds left to go. Aston Martin also in the shout, very close, in sixth with 182 points. Seventh is Mercedes on 147 points. Ferrari are eighth on 124 points. McLaren ninth on 76 points. Toyota are 10th with 33 points. And Mitsubishi is 11th on 7 points. So yes, they are our tables. Now let's have a look at this grid coming up to the sprint race here at Monza. We can see that Homesick Alien has managed to put it on pole in his Nissan. Then we have Shiren in the Aston Martin, second on the grid. Bunny, third in his McLaren. Liam Anfield, the championship leader, is in fourth place in the Porsche, followed by his teammate Shadow Rider in fifth, also in the Porsche. Electric is our top Ferrari driver at the moment in the grid, in sixth. Then seventh, we have a Jokers in his Jaguar. Eighth is Uncle B. Darren in the Subaru. Pat is ninth for the BMW. Jim is 10th in the second Ferrari. Turtle is 11th in the second BMW. Ranger is 12th in the Mercedes. Rido is 13th in the second McLaren. And Simon is 14th in the Aston Martin. And oh man, we're going to have a great race here, I'm sure of it. I don't know how that first corner is going to do, though. The first Variante. It's always a struggle here at Monza. So we'll look at the grid quickly just to see them lined up. It's always nice, and then we'll get on with the race. So there is Homesick Alien. He's trying for that championship. He's got 9 points deficit to try and get on even terms with Liam Anfield going into the final race in his Nissan. There we have Sharon in his Aston Martin, been very solid this season, very solid indeed. Bunny returning in the McLaren. He won the championship last season, and he's here for round 9. There we have Liam Anfield in his Porsche, the championship leader. He's just got to get good points today. There we see a Shadow Rider, his teammate, backing him up in car 92. Then we have Electric in his Ferrari. The Ferrari's been a very twitchy vehicle this season. Can he do something from that position? Then Jaguar's Jocus. No, Jocus' Jaguar in the Panasonic colours. Doing a great job this season. Uncle B Subaru, he's been knocking on the door for wins this year. I think he has won a sprint race, so can he replicate that? The BMW crew of Pat, and behind him you can see Turtle, have done a great team job this season. There we have the Ferrari of Jim splitting the Beamers in car 66. And there is Turtle in car 63 with his little turtle on the bonnet. Very nice. Then we have Ranger, his first full season with us here at the VRC. He's done an absolute cracking job in a very difficult car. He represents the Amigos, another racing outfit that are on Discord and Facebook. Good group of lads, if you want to check them out. There is the McLaren of Rido. He's found that McLaren quite difficult this season, but he's stuck with it. And then Simon, also brand new to the VRC in his Iron Brew Aston. And that is the group. That's the crazy gang ready for this GTMC. No Skyjacker. He's away on James Bond duties, infiltrating some Irish consortium, I believe. So, without further ado, we'll press play and we'll get this 15-minute sprint race underway. In the chat, Turtle saying hello, hello thingy. And Turtle also says, fasten your seatbelts. We're in for a ride. So the lights are red. We're waiting for the greens. They're holding them very long. There they go. Green lights. And what a start from Bunny. Bunny absolutely flashing off the line there, trying to split in between the two leaders. But Homesick Alien pulls over to protect that lead for the time being as they hurtle down to the Variante. This is some crazy stuff. But Bunny's still there alongside. Can they all make it through? This is going to be very tight. And Bunny absolutely surging through in his McLaren. And Liam Anfield has jumped a couple of spots. Sharon dropped down to 4th. Electric 5th. Jokers there in 6th. Pat 7th. Ranger is in 8th. Jim in 9th with Rido. He's made a great start in his McLaren. Simon in 11th. He's had a good start. Turtles dropped down a little bit in 12th. Uncle B's had a terrible start in 13th. And Shadow Rider, the worst start ever, in 14th. I apologise, Shadow Rider. But there goes Bunny showing why he won a championship. Season 4 in Lobby 2, and Homesick Alien just wants to finish ahead of Liam. We've seen some movement there. Jokers and the Aston Martin of Sharon battling it out, and Jokers trying to get onto the racing line. He's given Sharon a little knock. Sharon's had a little spin around, and oh my word, that is not what Sharon needed for his race there, and he's down there with Shadow Rider. Unbelievable stuff. Well, Homesick Alien's taken the lead. Oh my, we should have a quick flick back, really, just to see how that was done. So, as they come around the first Lesmos, heading into the second one, Homesick Alien chasing down Bunny. Bunny off wide, and so is Homesick Alien. They're both back on, as you can see Sharon spinning in the background, and Homesick Alien's got the momentum on the McLaren, though, down the straight. An absolute powerhouse is that Nissan, and Liam Anfield trying to follow him through. Bunny down into 3rd place now. as they get to Ascari, and Homesick Alien doing all he can to try and save that lead, with Liam Anfield all up in his business, and Bunny having a look one way and another to see if there's a move on the cards there. But so far, Homesick Alien holding on to that lead. It's a 15-minute sprint race. No prisoners will be taken in this race. They've just got to get to the line as quickly as they can. Joker's up into 4th place now. Great work from Jokers, with Pat now in the BMW in 5th, Electric up to 6th. Then we have a Jim in 7th, the second Ferrari, the Ferrari side by side in this, well, line of stern in this race. Then we got Ranger in 8th in his Mercedes, just ahead of Simon's Aston Martin. Rido in 10th, Turtle in 11th. Then Uncle B not making much movement there in 12th. Sharon just ahead of Shadow Rider. But Homesick Alien still maintaining. It looks like Liam Anfield is under threat now from Bunny. Bunny trying to get the moves going. Bunny trying to get edging himself ahead of the Porsche. The Porsche looks like it's down on power here at the powerhouse, the Temple of Speed. That is a Monza. And Homesick Alien are trailing away with it. Absolutely burning up the asphalt as he makes his way through the second chicane. And Bunny trying to hold off that position from Liam Anfield. Liam Anfield is patient though. He can wait. He says, I can wait. I can wait. Don't you worry, Bunny. And Bunny out wide again. It's just another no. Pat's had a big off. Pat's back on the track again though. Luckily, just ahead of Jokers. He's made the move earlier and he's off again. Oh no, Pat struggling to keep hold of that BMW, and he pulled in front of Electric, but Electric got around him. Now he's there ahead of Jim. Jim flashing. I don't think he liked that move by Pat. And now it's Ranger trying to go around the Ferrari in his Mercedes, with Simon just behind Jim. And Pat is dropping. Where is Pat? Oh, he's there, 6th. Sorry, he's not dropping. It's Jim that dropped behind the Merc, and now he's under threat from Simon in his Iron Brew Aston Martin. Turtle then 10th, trying to make headway, and Uncle B, the Subaru, not enjoying Monza whatsoever. We see him at the other end of the pack usually, with Rido in 12th. Oh, Rido's made a small mistake, and Sharon is going around at the outside of him. Oh no, it's just clinging onto that track as best as the Russian sensation can do, and he's just edged it ahead of Rido there for 12th place. Rido dropping down to 13th, ahead of Shadow Rider, the second Porsche. But so far, Homesick Alien managing to pull out a gap on the McLaren, and the McLaren of Bunny keeping Liam Anfield at bay at this moment in time. Jokers in that 4th place again, with Electric chasing him down. Pat further back in 6th, with Ranger ahead of Jim. Jim losing a bit of momentum from Pat's rejoin and losing a position to Ranger, but Simon's all up in his business, I can tell thee. And Simon now having a look at the Ferrari as they go into the chicane. This is going to be scary stuff, side by side. Simon making the move, and Simon make the move. Absolutely cracking from the rookie there. Simon making the move on Jim in his twitchy Ferrari, and now Jim in threat from Sharon behind him. This is some crazy racing. We are 5 minutes, 1/3 into this sprint race. Homesick Alien, he's got an absolute country mile. And back there, we see Liam Anfield trying to get the slipstream done on Bunny. He's through, but Bunny's got the inside to Ascari. But Liam saying, you will not pass. And they are rubbing each other as Liam goes sideways through the second part of Ascari. They're still side by side. They are fighting hard, and they give Jokers the opportunity. Jokers is there. Jokers is coming up into 2nd place. The Jaguar is the highest he's got. Jokers is going to get a nosebleed. Oh my word. Look at that. Jokers getting benefits from Liam and Bunny in their little battle there. And Liam and Bunny still absolutely chugging it out between the two of them in 3rd and 4th. And the next man down the track is Electric, who wants a piece of that action, if they're giving it away, like Jokers just did, as they head towards the first Variante. And Liam Anfield just ahead of Bunny, but Bunny's having a look. No, Liam's cutting that off, and he's going to go for a move on Jokers, very Hamilton-esque, and he does the business beautifully. Absolutely cracking from Liam Anfield, and Jokers is out wide. Jokers is out wide. Oh my word. Jokers and Bunny getting in each other's way, as that gives Electric an opportunity to take that Ferrari on home soil up into third place, and this race is absolutely ballistic. Homesick Alien, though, loving this action behind him. It gives him a little bit of breathing space as he just romps her home for some great points on Liam Anfield. But Electric there now on in Ferrari on home soil in third place. Jokers and Bunny battling it out. Bunny just ahead of Jokers, and Jokers just sitting tucked up behind the McLaren, but the McLaren's gone on a little wide, and that gives Jokers the opportunity. You can see Pat's out wide again. He's got a different racing line for that corner for the Lesmo. So Jokers then up into fourth, Bunny fifth, Pat now in sixth with Uncle B. He's got through he's come through, hasn't he? He was down in 12th at one point, but now he's up into 7th place, followed by Sharon Ranger down into 9th, 10th for Turtle. Then there's a tough little battle there between Sharon, well, at the moment, Ranger, the Merc and the Beamer, battling it out there for 9th and 10th place. Simon's dropped back in 11th. Shadow Rider in 12th. He's moved ahead of Jim in 13th. Rido is struggling in that McLaren, as the other McLaren is up there in 5th place, fighting Jokers for that 4th. He's very close behind him again, ready to make the moves. Liam Anfield tries to get away from that little battle. He needs to catch up. His closest rival, whilst Electric in the Ferrari can't believe he's on a podium position at the moment. We are 8 minutes into this 15-minute race. Jokers and Bunny side by side coming up to the Variante, and Jokers is into the corner first. He's returned the favour from the last lap, but he's got a little wiggle on. Can Bunny get anything on that car as they come to the very fast Grande corner? And Bunny's on the outside, Jokers is on the inside. This is some absolutely ballistic racing there, as Jokers has got the better line going through, and he stays ahead in 4th. But now Bunny is going to have the inside line for the second Variante, and no, there is Jokers still claiming the corner, and Jokers in the Jaguar is mighty today. There is no stopping Jokers. He is cracking on. Super stuff. Pat's holding on to that 6th place, but Sharon trying to catch up the BMW. He's running out of time though, as we hit 9 minutes on this 15-minute race. The Russian sensation trying to make up ground, where he's being very closely followed by the Subaru of Uncle B. Darren. Turtle in a great 9th place. He's pulled away from a Ranger. Simon in 11th in his Aston Martin, ahead of Shadow Rider. Shadow Rider coming through, getting himself ahead of Jim and Rido. And he looks like to be catching up that Aston Martin. Jim in 13th with Rido. He seems to be ghosted. But Homesick Alien has done the job today. I don't think, unless he throws that car off, he has got this one in the bag. Liam Anfield is doing a damage limitation there in 2nd place, only to lose about a point from Homesick, maybe 2. He's got the fastest lap, and he had pole. I can't remember if the points are set up that way. I believe they are. So Homesick Alien looking like he might get maximum points today. Liam Anfield just trying not to let him get too close in this championship table. Electric on for an absolute corking podium. We've seen the Ferrari on the podium already this season with Jim in one of the feature races, and Electric, he wants to emulate his teammate. Joker's doing a super spot in 4th, fighting off that McLaren. The McLaren giving it all, giving everything he's got, and Joker's the Jaguar looking very shaky through the Variantes, but very solid on a straight line. So Bunny giving it all behind, trying everything he can to get on the Jaguar as they head up to the 2nd Variante, and he's looking down the thin air, the open door there, but Joker says no go. And now he's done a swap. He swapped it over, and oh no, Electric's going slow ahead of him. This is crazy. This could be a battle for the podium. 4th, 3rd, 4th, 5th are all there, ready to try and grab a podium position, and it's crazy racing down there. And Electric, he's trying to cling on. He wants that podium at home ground for Ferrari. That would be a great feather in his cap. And we can see further back Uncle B. Oh no, Pat's had that long line. He's gone for that wide line through Lesmos, and he's lost a couple of positions. His teammate coming up upon him, and there you go, Turtle up into 8th place. A great race for Turtle at the moment. Shiren, their 7th. Uncle B has managed to pull away, and Electric is still in 3rd. Electric still holding on to that 3rd from Jaguar and McLaren. This is crazy, but Electric looks like he's under fire, and Joker's the powerhouse of the Jaguar flying through, and there's nothing the Ferrari can do, it seems. Now Joker's going into the Parabolica. The brakes are, the tyre smokes as they all late brake into a Parabolica, and Joker's is up into 3rd place with Electric down in 4th now. Bunny fighting the McLaren, the old rival Ferrari v McLaren, still going strong here in the GTMC. And Electric's having a look at the Jokers, and it's going to be 3 wide going into the first Variante. I wouldn't recommend it, but Joker seems to have got it done. He's got through the corner ahead, and his heart must be beating in his mouth there with all of this pressure. Electric trying to cling on to that 4th place from Bunny. Then we have Uncle B, Darren, up into 6th. So we've lost Shiren down into 7th. Ranger is up into 8th ahead of the BMW of Pat. Oh, we've lost Turtle. Shadow Rider now in 10th place with Turtle down in 11th place, fighting off Jim on a comeback there in 12th. Simon in 13th. Rido is in 14th, and it's a real bunch of cars here whilst Jim tries to battle with the Dutch driver in his Ferrari. Turtle defending like a king in his BMW. Further up we've got Shadow Rider chasing down, Ranger chasing down Shadow Rider, and there is the Ferrari in the background. You see, having a look, there's Pat in 8th place, while Shiren trying to catch up. Oh, what's going on down here? We've got some action. Oh, Simon's had a big wide one, and there we see Pat being slipstreamed by Shadow Rider. Shadow Rider having a look, and he's going to try and make the move on Pat for that 8th place into Ascari, and there he goes. The Porsche is through. The battle of the Germans, and the Porsche comes through on Pat, the other German there behind. It's a Splitzider around here with the BMW, the Porsche and the Mercedes all battling it out. Absolutely cracking stuff. Joker's still holding on to that 3rd place. I'll go back and have a look in a minute. But at the moment we're having a battle royale with the German manufacturers, with Shadow Riders out wide, and that puts Ranger up into 8th. The Merc is through. Pat into 9th, and he's alongside Shadow Rider in the Porsche. Shadow Rider drops in and behind. Then we have Turtle ahead of the Ferrari there in 11th, and my gosh, we've got racing up and down the field. So far, Homesick Alien just cruising. He's put it in cruise control. He's put that Nissan in cruise control. An easy win there for Homesick. We've got 14.5 minutes on the clock, 30 seconds left. This is going to be the last lap for all of them. Liam Anfield in the 2nd Porsche, doing a super job trying to catch up with the Nissan, but is a big tall order. The Joker's in his Jaguar doing a super job in 3rd. He's out wide though, that doesn't help. Bunny has got himself past Electric down to 4th, and he's under threat from the Subaru of Uncle B, Darren, who's in 6th, just ahead of Shiren in the Aston Martin. Oh no, Joker's has had a big wide one. He's had a wide on in Lesmos, and they're all flooding through. Bunny up into a podium position. Electric back up into 4th. Uncle B, Darren 5th. Shiren gets past as well. Joker's down to 7th. Oh, poor Joker's. All of that pressure that he managed to put up with. And I think Rido is just crossing the line there to finish in 14th. Homesick Alien coming up towards Parabolica to grab a great win for him. Another win this season for the Nissan driver, car 77, with his championship. 9 points he's got to find in this championship, and that is the right way of going about it, getting the pole and the fastest lap. And there is the checkered flag. He is through. What a great win. Liam Anfield though, damaged limitation. He comes home in 2nd place. Bunny is the final podium sitter. He gets it from Jaguar, but the Jaguar made a mistake, and unbelievable stuff. And there you go, Bunny, take a boo, my son, in 3rd. Electric 4th. There's a whole load of them. 5th for Shiren. Uncle B 7th for Jokers. Shadow Rider doing a great job there, bringing it home in 8th place. 9th place for Turtle. Simon in 10th, followed very closely by Jim. And then we've got, it's a tight one between Ranger and Pat, but I daren't let him cross the line. I think Ranger's going to have that one. It does look like a Ranger is going to get that 12th ahead of Pat, but it's tight stuff. So Homesick Alien, the winner of the sprint race, ahead of Liam Anfield, with Bunny in 3rd, Electric getting 4th in the end. Cracking stuff at home ground for the Ferrari. Sharon very close up behind him in 5th. Uncle B doing a great job coming through the pack. He qualified quite badly in that Subaru, but finally got 6th place. Jokers, your heart's got to go out to Jokers. All the pressure he took. Looked like the podium was in his grasp until that final lap, and he dropped down to 7th. Damn the Lesmo. Shadow Rider, another great drive there from Shadow Rider from virtually the back of the grid up into 8th place. Turtle in 9th. Ooh, he's hiding. There he is. So Turtle grabbing 9th in the end. Was that ahead of his teammate? I haven't seen Pat yet. So yeah, Turtle, top BMW driver. No, yeah, because Pat's fighting Ranger further back. Simon, a great position there, 10th place for Simon, the rookie. Jim bringing that Ferrari home in 11th place. No love lost there between him and the Ferrari, I'm pretty sure. Ranger looks to be getting a 12th ahead of Pat in 13th. So we'll let them guys cross the line. And Rido getting 14th in the end. So Ranger does get that 12th place ahead of Pat in 13th. What an absolute humdinger of a race. And shall we do it again in the Group 3s for the feature race? Oh, not half. Let's have it. So the randomator is spinning around, and I believe the number it drew was 7. So the grid will be reversed from 7th place. And that means Jokus will be on pole position, and all the drivers behind him will be reversed in order they finished. So yes, Jokus in pole, with Uncle B in 2nd, Sharon 3rd, Electric 4th, Bunny 5th, Liam Anfield 6th, and Homesick Alien the winner in 7th. And the guys behind them stay in the same order as what they finished. It's a rolling start here for a 40-minute race at Monza in the Group 3 cars. What a treat. What an absolute treat. Joker's hiding behind the alcove there. There he is in his Group 3 Jaguar, looking splendid in all his glory. And he will not be wanting to make the same mistakes as that first race. He's starting on the super softs. Uncle B's going for soft tyres. Sharon is on the softs. There is Electric also on the soft tyres. They are go already. No waiting around here at Monza, with Jokers hurtling down to the Variante, with Uncle B trying to keep up with him, but he's on them soft tyres. So is the Aston Martin. The powerhouse in a straight line. But it looks, maybe did he get a tag behind from Electric, but he's kept it under control, and he's done a cracking job as Sharon. Electric getting a wiggle on out of the chicane, and Bunny jumping on him without further ado. And then we have Liam Anfield also trying to get by the Ferrari in his Porsche, doing a super job. He's up into 5th now. Shadow Rider, Homesick Alien battling with the second Porsche. Shadow Rider doing team work there. And yes, Nissan is through past Electric dropping the ball on this first lap, and Homesick Alien trying to catch up with a Bunny, which he does, and he gets by. Easy work from the Nissan. Jokers, meanwhile, keeping hold of that lead with Uncle B in 2nd place. Sharon there in 3rd. Liam Anfield holding on to that 4th, and Homesick Alien wants to catch up that Porsche. He's got Bunny very close behind in the slipstream, with a Shadow Rider as well. Could do some work for his teammate here. Electric is dropping. He's now dropped behind the BMW of Turtle. Turtle up into 8th place, and Electric now at 9th. Pat in 10th, as Ranger is in 11th, and Rido up to 12th. Simon's dropped a couple of positions down there in 13th, and Jim in that Ferrari, still hating the car, I imagine. But Joker's pulling away from the pack. Uncle B getting a tight squeeze there from Shiren. Shiren trying to get closer, both on the racing soft tyres. Liam Anfield then in 4th place, trying to catch up those guys also on the softs. Homesick Alien also on soft tyres, with Bunny not far behind in 6th place. He's on the racing softs, as is Shadow Rider. Turtle on the soft tyre, with Pat also opting for the soft tyre here at Monza. And Joker's doing a super job. Uncle B, there's some movement. I saw some movement. Shadow Rider, has he got himself ahead of no, he was already there, so maybe no movement. Oh, Pat's moved up ahead of Electric. Electric dropping another position there as Pat moves up to behind his teammate. We've seen these two together a lot, Turtle and Pat in the BMWs. They are a great team together in this championship. So Joker's making his way around the Lesmo, where he dropped it in the sprint race, and no sign of that this time around. He's keeping it all close and by the numbers. He needs this. Uncle B, though, following him around in 2nd place. Not much movement so far around. There is the Aston Martin holding on to 3rd. Liam Anfield in 4th ahead. Oh, Bunny's got himself ahead of Homesick Alien. So Bunny is making the moves and destroying Homesick Alien's championship dreams right now, and Shadow Rider would like to do the same for his teammate, I am sure. But at the moment, Bunny out wide. Homesick Alien's kind of followed him through as they head up towards the Parabolica. Bunny goes to the inside to get defensive. Homesick Alien moving out to the outside, and Homesick Alien's got the momentum to go past the powerhouse of the Nissan, managing to just pure grunt by the McLaren. Shadow Rider right up behind the McLaren there. He wants to get by as well. There's not much opportunity. Turtle and Pat, same place on the track there in the BMWs. Simon in 10th. Electric dropping down to 11th in that Ferrari. That Ferrari, a big struggle for these guys to drive. Then Ranger in 12th, ahead of Rido in 13th, and Jim there is in 14th, chasing down the pack. But Jokers is the man in the lead right now. He's pulled out himself a nice pleasant lead on the Aston Martin. Oh, the Aston Martin's got himself past Uncle B. Uncle B dropping a position there. He's chasing down Shiren, though. He doesn't want to lose the position. He's going to go late break into the second Variante, but he cannot do it. So Shiren stays put where he is. And there is Liam giving a barrier and knock out the way. As Shadow Rider, he's got himself ahead of Homesick and Bunny. Oh, we've got to have a look, haven't we? We don't know how that happens. Oh, gosh. There we go. Oh, it was in the first Variante. He just found a nice, easy gap to get through the first Variante. And he is up into 5th place. Is Shadow Rider doing a great job for the Porsche team, keeping those Nissans at bay. Oh, my words. So, Homesick Alien, he's going to have to strategize this one, with Bunny just up his chuff, and the BMWs closing in on those guys as well, with Turtle ahead of Pat. This is great racing here. So, Jokers with a great lead at the moment on Shiren in his Aston Martin. Shiren, though, he can do some lap times when it needs to, and he'll be chugging along to try and catch up that Jaguar. But the Jaguar, you can see, has got a lovely, lovely gap ahead of the Aston Martin at the moment as they go through Ascari. And Uncle B has seen an opportunity. Shiren made a small mistake, and now Uncle B in his Subaru is up into 2nd place again, and the Shiren in Aston Martin down to 3rd, and Liam Anfield can see another bit of danger ahead. He can see another position, and he's going to go for it in the Parabolica. Look at him trying to late brake himself up the side of the Aston Martin, but he's just a little too far back. But the Aston Martin looks like it is primed and ready for Liam Anfield to get that position. He's going to get into the slipstream before the chicane, the first Variante, as they head towards that corner at some 160 odd miles an hour, braking right down to 50, 40. into first gear and saves it and stays ahead of the Porsche. Homesick Alien's got himself back ahead of Bunny and Shadow Rider. Shadow Rider must have made a mistake. He did. Oh, sorry, Shadow Rider. We're going to have a look, though, because, you know, I'm sadistic and I like to torture you guys. So, Shadow Rider going in to the Variante. He hits the curb and, oh, the curb just slings him around. And Shadow Rider, nothing he could do about that. He was just a passenger in that one. And he's dropped down to 9th place and he's got it all to do again. But we've got plenty of racing here. We've got 34 minutes left on the clock. And Shadow Rider has plenty of time. He's obviously got a fast car underneath him. And he's got Simon up in the Aston Martin, just whipping by as they get to the second Variante. And Simon makes a mistake of it. And Shadow Rider gets to claim that position back. Jokers, meanwhile, disappearing into the distance. Uncle B trying to keep up with him. Then we have Sharon in 3rd place and Homesick Liam Anfield very close to Sharon. He's very close. He's looking to get the move done in his Porsche. Homesick Alien trying not to let his championship contender get too far ahead. He needs to keep close on points, but we're running out of rounds for Homesick Alien to manage to do something. Homesick Alien led the championship for a great deal of this season, and near the end there, Liam Anfield has come through and taken a gobful of points away from the Nissan driver. Bunny there in 6th, can't keep up with the powerhouse of the Nissan on a straight line. Turtle and Pat still line astern out there. Looking great for the BMW Marquis. Shadow Rider with it all to do again down in 9th with the Aston Martin of Simon in 10th place. 11th for Jim coming through. Ranger in 12th. He's on the super soft tyres. Rido also on the super softs out there in 13th. And Electric, he was up there, wasn't he, at the beginning of this race, has dropped down to 14th. And that is how difficult this Ferrari is to drive. But Jokers in the Jaguar, a solid drive so far on those super soft tyres, staying way ahead of the Subaru of Uncle B. UBD giving it some large ones through the second Variante. He wants to catch up with Jokers. Jokers last time around a 48.1, with Uncle B managing a 49.0. Sharon a 49.7, with Liam Anfield a 49.7 also, but that might be dictated by Sharon's pace there, because he's tucked up right behind us. Sharon looking for a way past. This helps Homesick Alien though close the gap between himself and the Porsche. He's got a lovely bit of air behind him from Bunny in 6th, Turtle in 7th, and Pat in 8th. The BMW boys doing a great job, great amount of points there for BMW if they can finish in those positions. Shadow Rider on the comeback after his mistake. Well, not his mistake, he clipped the curb and the car just spun around underneath him. In his Porsche, Simon in 10th with Ranger in 11th. These guys are all pretty spread out back here. Electric, the 2 Ferraris at the back on home soil, but the Ferrari, a very, very twitchy car, the Group 3. It's fast, it's very fast car, but doesn't like corners. So Jokers doing a super job for Jaguar at the moment. The tyres are still looking good. He's on a quarter of a tank of fuel. Uncle B, oh, he's just over a quarter of a tank, and his racing soft tyres are still looking fresh, bruv. With Sharon, oh, Sharon's doing good on fuel. Liam Anfield, oh, half a tank of fuel. He's doing very good as well. Homesick Alien also on a half a tank of fuel. So these guys, they could push it. I mean, half a tank of fuel around about the 10-minute mark. They could try and get a one-stop to work around here. It will be very tight though, very, very tight. And Homesick Alien Bunny also just under half a tank. It's going to be tight for the McLaren if he wants to try and get a one-stop out of this. And the BMW boys getting closer. Pat closing up on Turtle at the moment. And Turtle sliding through Lesmos, and there you go. Pat gets up and through, up into 7th, ahead of Turtle. I think Pat is ahead in the championship though, so maybe team orders, you never know. Shadow Rider in 9th ahead of Simon, and the guys are spread out, like I said, further back here. Don't think we've got any racing going on here. Electric ahead of Jim. But Jokus is the man so far, but he's going to be into the pits. He's definitely going to be doing a 2-stopper. He's burnt through some fuel. Uncle B Darren can maybe do a lap or 2 more than Jokus, but Jokus, he's going to have to come in now. Wow. That's not a lot, is it? That's not a lot of fuel. 10 minutes, 11 minutes of racing, and he's already burnt through his fuel. So Jokus into the pits. Uncle B Darren takes over the lead. Shiren on a quarter of a tank. Liam Anfield just under half a tank with Homesick Alien, same fuel load. He's closing up on the Porsche, and we can still have a shock in the championship as Liam goes on by the Aston Martin, and Homesick Alien will be wanting to get by very quickly himself. He doesn't want to get tucked up behind the Aston Martin like Liam Anfield did. Liam Anfield now free to try and put some absolute cracking lap times in to pull away from his closest championship rival. But Homesick Alien looking like he's trying to get the move done early. He's going to go for the late break into the second Variante, but he's just too far behind, and he can't make it stick as he climbs all over those curbs. Very brave from the Nissan driver. But Shiren stays there in 3rd place. Bunny trying to close the gap now as Homesick Alien's tucked up behind the Aston Martin. And the Aston Martin, quarter of a tank of fuel, can still go for a few laps yet. Uncle B is low on fuel. He's going to be pitting in the next lap or 2, and that'll give the lead to Liam Anfield with Shiren in 3rd place, Homesick Alien 4th, Bunny there in 5th, but he's got a little damage on. He's made a mistake, and Pat has just burnt on through. So Pat now up to 5th for the BMW, and the Bunster is down in 6th. He must have had an off. And Turtle's closing up that gap, and Shadow Rider now moving on through. Ranger in 9th. Jokus has rejoined the track in 10th place after his pit stop behind Ranger, just ahead of Rido, not too far ahead of Rido. He's gone for the racing soft tyre as Uncle B. He's going to sling that into the pits this time around. And Uncle B is in. So Liam Anfield will take over the lead of this race as he tries to get a 1-stop in action here. And Shiren still ahead of Homesick Alien. Homesick Alien trying his best to get the move done on the Aston Martin, but it's not easy against the Russian sensation. He is very good. As you see the flames flying out of the side of the Nissan and the Aston Martin under braking. And Shiren stays ahead of the Nissan. Pat now up to 4th with Uncle B making his pit stop. And where does Uncle B come out in relation? And Bunny's also stopped to Jokus. Jokus looks like he's already got by, and Uncle B is still behind Jokus, chasing him down. And can these guys get the 2-stop to work? Uncle B's gone for the super soft tyres as Jokus has gone to the softs. I think the rule is they can use any compound they want as long as they don't put the same ones on. So Liam Anfield leading. Oh, Homesick Alien's got past Shiren. Shiren's dropped right back in the BMW of Pat, although he needs fuel, is up into 3rd place. Shiren's needing fuel as well, and he looks he's having a rough couple of laps here because Shadow Rider, where is Shadow Rider come from? Back up to 4th, dropped to 9th, and now he's back in 4th place ahead of Shiren, whose fuel is flashing, as is Pat's. So a great 2-stop, about 14 minutes into this 40-minute race. That is what you wish for. 10 minutes is a bit early for the likes of Jokus, and maybe Uncle B even stopping a little early. They're going to have to wean that fuel out. Turtle down there, he's going to need a pit stop as well. That'll put Jokus back up into contention. But the 1-stoppers here, Liam Anfield, Homesick Alien, leading the way, both of them on exactly the same fuel load, but Liam Anfield leading. He did a 49.8 his last time around. Homesick Alien a 50.1. And so the Porsche faster at this point. Shadow Rider continuing on as well, as we have a whole host of them. 4th, 5th, 6th, all into the pits. Jokus will come around ahead of those because he's got 3 strategy. He looks like he's going to go for a 1-stopper as well. Uncle B behind him, who pitted earlier, put the super softs on. And it's crazy stuff. So Liam Anfield leading from Homesick Alien. This championship is going down to the wire, but it's advantage to Liam Anfield, I think. With Shadow Rider there in third spot, Jokus in fourth. He's getting purples. He has the fastest lap here at Monza on lap 2 with a 47.9. But he's got to burn through the fuel. He's going to have to watch that. He wants that fuel to last a little bit longer than a 10-minute sprint. He's in 6 minutes into his sprint at the moment, and the fuel is looking a little healthier than it did the first time around. 4 minutes away from that pit stop window for the one-stoppers. Liam just under a quarter of a tank of fuel, as is Homesick Alien. It's going to be very tight for the one-stoppers. Shadow Rider, he's going to need to pit this lap, I believe, but he's just done a 49.1, his fastest on track. Liam Anfield at 49.8 last time around, 50.1, so 2/10 between it, 3/10, sorry, between Liam Anfield and Homesick Alien. Liam Anfield burns across the line with a 50.4, Homesick Alien at 49.8. They are swapping those lap times. Shadow Rider into the pits, that puts Jokus up into third place. Ranger doing a cracking job on that Merc, making the fuel last for him. Uncle B Darren trying to chase him down. Excuse me. So Ranger holding on to fourth place. His fuel has started flashing now though, so I don't think he's going to quite get halfway in that. Well, maybe with 17 minutes. Well, he's going to get to about 19 minutes when he crosses the line next time is a Ranger, but it's going to be tight. Uncle B trying to hunt down. He did a 51.0 on those super soft tyres. Ranger managing a 50.4. But maybe Uncle B trying to conserve a bit of fuel for this stint. Pat then in fifth after his pit stop. So Pat into the pits. I don't know if he short-filled it, but he's got himself out ahead of Shadow Rider, ahead of Shiren, ahead of Bunny. So Pat did a cracking job there in his pit stop, and he's ahead of Shadow Rider, Shiren, Bunny. Simon coming to make the move on the McLaren up the inside. Has he outbraked himself? No, he hasn't. He's got through. Simon, a very brave move there, very fast through the second Variante in the Aston Martin, and he's got himself up ahead of Bunny. Then we have a Turtle in 11th place, Electric 12. He hasn't made a pit stop yet, so the Ferraris haven't pitted. There's Rido, he has pitted, and Jim also has pitted, but Jim making the move on the McLaren in the second Variante, and he's done a cracking job, and he's through. So Jim up into 13th place. Liam Anfield, then the fuel has started flashing. He's got one more lap, and then they will be halfway, these two. And Homesick Alien just trying to stay in sight of that Porsche. With a Ranger also. Ranger's going to have to come in this lap just under halfway. So he's going to have to make that fuel last if he wants to make a one-stopper. Jokus up into third. Uncle B up into fourth when Liam and Homesick pit. These two will resume their positions from before all the pit stops, with Jokus leading from Uncle B Darren. Pat there in fifth. A cracking race so far for the BMW driver Pat, ahead of Shiren. Shiren trying to gain something out of this race in his Aston Martin. Shadow Rider as well in 7th. Simon up into 8th ahead of Bunny in 9th. Turtle in 10th spot. Chasing them down, Electric. With that fuel flashing, he's virtually made it halfway though. Cracking stuff as Liam Anfield is running on fumes at the moment, as is Homesick Alien. These two do not want to give anything away. No mistakes can be made. Nothing. They can't even have a little wide one, because that gives advantage to the other. And it's a lot of pressure for these two drivers out there in the front of the pack. Jokus, no pressure whatsoever. He can just go for it. We're at the halfway mark of this race, and Liam Anfield coming around the Parabolica. We'll see him disappear into the pits. as will Homesick Alien, the two championship contenders. There goes Liam, there goes Homesick. So Jokus will resume the lead of this race, but is the two-stopper faster than the one-stopper? It doesn't seem to be. It doesn't seem that he's going to get enough distance on those one-stoppers unless they have to turn their cars down. He's on a quarter of a tank of fuel, and that's not going to be enough fuel. He's going to have to do 3 stops at this rate. Uncle B, though, he's managing to make that fuel last. If he can make it last a little bit longer, then he is looking very good for possibly a podium. There is Pat in 3rd place right now. He's just done his fastest lap with a 48.6. Sorry, the iPad looked like it was playing up. So a Jokus leading the way. Problem is, I tried to do this while my son was out buying a coat, and he's back now, so I'm really nervous that he's come in and turned his computer on and just he's hogging the internet, because PCs seem to trump PlayStations when the internet comes into it. So Jokus there leading the way from Uncle B, Darren. Pat in 3rd, Shiren in 4th, Shadow Rider there in 6th place. Shadow Rider's got the fastest lap of the race so far. Where did Liam come out? Liam came out in 6th behind those guys, ahead of Homesick Alien. Homesick Alien does look to have closed the gap a little bit in the pit stops between himself and Shadow Rider, and now we've got a race on here. Turtle behind them in 8th place, Simon in 9th, with Bunny in 10th, 11th there for Ranger, 12th is Jim, Rido 13th, and Electric's dropped to the, because Electric stopped, and he's put racing mediums on. Unbelievable stuff. So Jokus is leading the way until his fuel runs out. So Jokus leading there. Can his fuel last? Uncle B, Darren there in 2nd place with Pat in 3rd. Pat under threat from Shiren at the moment. Shiren going for the move on Pat into the 2nd variante, and he's just a little too far back to make it stick, and Pat there stays in 3rd place for now. Unbelievable stuff. With Shiren in 4th, Shadow Rider in 5th, Liam Anfield, the one-stoppers of Liam Anfield and Homesick Alien in the middle of the pack. Turtle not far behind him in 8th place, Simon in 9th, Bunny in 10th place, 11th for Ranger, 12th. Oh, Ranger's one-stopping as well, remember, so he might be able to pick up some big gains ahead of him when we get into the 2nd round of pit stops. Jokus' fuel is low. Oh my God, he got it to go 14 minutes this time around. But he's definitely coming into the pits for his 2nd stop, and can he get that fuel to last for the rest of the race? We will see. He's got himself a nice gap on Uncle B, but I think Uncle B has taken off the accelerator a little bit, turned his engine down to try and wean out that fuel. So Jokus into the pits for his 2nd stop, and there goes Uncle B to take over the lead of the race. Absolutely awesome. Shiren then. Where did Pat go? Oh, Pat's down in 9th place. What happened to Pat? It's not a great lap time for him. He's only just coming out of the Parabolica with 2 minutes on there. So I think Pat must have made a mistake or something, because he lost around 14 seconds on that pit lap time. It wasn't a pit stop or anything like that. So Pat... Oh, and Shadow Rider, Shiren, oh yeah, because someone's pitted, sorry. Shiren's up to 2nd, Shadow Rider in 3rd. Liam Anfield up into 4th, and he's pulled away from the Alien. Liam Anfield managing on track to pull away from Homesick Alien. Maybe Homesick Alien trying to look after his fuel. possibly come the end of this race. We have seen Liam Anfield run out of fuel on the last lap before, and it's crazy stuff. So Uncle B Darren leading the way from Sharon. Shadow Rider in third place, ahead of his teammate Liam Anfield. And I imagine Shadow Rider will not put up any resistance, although Shadow Rider has got the fastest lap so far in this race. He's doing a lovely lap times, 48s, with Liam Anfield doing 49s, but he's got to look after that fuel. Homesick Alien in fifth place. Turtle now in sixth in the BMW, the top BMW driver. Pat behind him in seventh. Jokers comes out of the pits in eighth place, and can he make that fuel last all the way till the end? It's going to be a tough one for him. That Jaguar is a very thirsty car. Bunny there in ninth. Oh, he's having some real sketchy tyre wear on the back tyre there. Look at that, the rear left tyre looking rather worn. He's got a quarter of a tank of fuel left before his next stop. Ranger on a one stopper. He hasn't gained from Jokes' pit stop, but he still might gain from maybe all the way up to Shadow Rider. Who knows? Where is he? He's there. Shadow Rider's up there. Oh, that might be a pit stop. I don't know. And there goes Bunny into the pits. So a Ranger gaining a position there in ninth. He's hoping to jump the BMW boys also when they come into pit. But at the moment, Uncle B, he's going to need to make a pit stop as well. We're coming up to... We've just gone 27 minutes into this race. We've got less than 13 minutes to go. And who knows, it looks strong for Liam Anfield on that one stopper, unless he throws it off. Homesick Alien just can't live with the pace of Liam Anfield. He did a 48.9 his last time around. Homesick Alien doing a 49.0. And Homesick Alien can feel that championship slipping away from him. And there we see Uncle B in his pink Subaru, making his way around towards Parabolica before he makes a stop. Sharon, I don't know if he'll sling it in at the same time as Uncle B or get another lap out of that Aston Martin. Shadow Rider, he's going to have to sling it in as well to the pits. Liam Anfield then will take the lead of the race. Homesick Alien, these two not having to stop again. And Pat's got himself back ahead of Turtle, but he's going to have to pit. Turtle's still got a good bit of fuel left. Sharon does sling it into the pits. Sharon does come into the pits, as does Shadow Rider. So Liam Anfield and Homesick Alien resume the lead of this race at the front. On that one stopper, it does look like the one stopper is the way to go. And everyone else is into the pits. Jokers, is he going to make a huge leap? Jokers also coming in. He's coming in for a top up. Unbelievable. So Jim ahead of Ranger. Ranger maybe turning his engine down as he's on that one stop. Jim, he's going to have to come into the pits. So Sharon is the first one out of the pits in third place there, with Uncle B following him out as well. Shadow Rider out, and there is Jokers in sixth place. So Jokers, very wise from Jokers really. He could have carried on, but he decided to pit when everyone else pitted, and it puts him right in the middle of the bunch. And Jim hasn't pitted yet in seventh, and a Ranger didn't make the big leap he wanted to. All of those guys in the pits, that's who he wanted to jump, but he stayed in eighth. And I think the thirsty Merc, he's having to look after his fuel a little bit. Simon there in ninth. Turtles come out in 10th, ahead of his teammate 11th for Pat. Did Turtle pit? He did pit. So interesting dynamic between the BMW drivers. There is Bunny. He pitted a lap before everyone and he couldn't catch them up whilst they were in the pits. Electric in 13th. He's trying to one stop this bad boy. And Rido down there in 14th place. Phew-wee. So Homesick has got a little bit more fuel than Liam Anfield at this point. Will Liam Anfield have to slow down before the end of this race? We have only got 10 more minutes to find out. As Liam crosses the line, he's got half a tank of fuel. Should be just about enough. Homesick's conserved a little bit of fuel, dropped back from Liam Anfield though. And is that going to be enough to mount an attack come the end of this race? Sharon looks like he's got himself that final podium position, unless any mistakes happen. Uncle B in 4th place, ahead of Shadow Rider in 5th. Joker's there in 6th. Shadow Rider's got the speed. We see he's got the fastest lap in this race. Jim has come in for his 2nd stop, and that gives Simon going past Ranger. Ranger must have really turned that car down. So Simon now up into 7th place, and it looks like Turtle is ready to make the move as well on the Mercedes. The Mercedes just trying to get that car to the end of the race, it seems. And it should be enough fuel. He's just under half a tank of fuel as the BMW muscles its way past the Mercedes. And he's got, Ranger's got the other Beamer coming up fast behind as they get to the 2nd variante, and they make their way through. Ooh, a big wiggle on there for the Mercedes as Pat has a look one way and another way. He's trying his hardest to get past the Mercedes, and a Ranger trying to defend as best he can out there in the Merc. The Merc isn't an easy car to drive, I can tell you. So they're battling it out at the moment. Pat's all over the back of the Mercedes. I think the Mercedes is having to conserve fuel at this point as Pat just blasts on by the straights, you see, as they go into Ascari, and Pat is ahead. Pat chasing down his teammate just ahead of him, Turtle, in 8th place. Simon in the Aston Martin running away from the BMWs. Liam Anfield then leading this race. He did a 50.0 last time around. Homesick Alien a 50.4. It's nip and tuck between the two leaders and their two championship leaders out there at the front, trying to get a one-stop to work for them. We've got less than 8 minutes left of this race. Sharon there looking good for a podium. He's just grabbed himself the fastest lap of the race as well on lap 17. Uncle B looks to be closing the gap on Sharon. It's going to be a battle for that final podium step. Shadow Rider at the moment chasing those two down. He's a little too far back at the moment. Jaguar of Jokers, he's up into 6th place, being chased by the Aston Martin of Simon. Turtle, the lead BMW, just ahead of his teammate. Pat's 8th and 9th for these guys, as a Ranger looking after his fuel to get a one-stop to work down in 10th position. 11th there for Bunny, 12th for Jim. Electric in 13th, and Rido having a big one. Rido having a huge one in the Parabolica. There's a yellow flag, I think that's probably for Rido that we just saw, as Liam Anfield goes through the Parabolica to cross the line in the lead to start lap 19. With only just over 6 minutes left of racing, you've got to say Liam Anfield seems to have this one in the bag. The fuel's looking okay. Homesick Alien, just again damage limitation, I think, from the Alien here, although he does look to have closed up the gap a little bit to Liam Anfield. It's going to be tight. It's the last 6 minutes, tight racing. Sharon looking good for that 3rd place, but Uncle B is trying to close the gap on the Russian sensation. And Shadow Rider a little bit behind them. He's closed the gap as well in 5th place. Jokers in 6th. Our pole sitter and early leader, but he's had to make 3 stops today. 6th place for a 3-stopper is not bad at all. 7th is Simon, doing a cracking job, the rookie, doing a super job up there in the top 10, with Pat in 8th. Pat's got himself ahead of Turtle. I don't know. He did a 49.4 last time around, a 50.5 from Turtle. The Dutch Wonder chasing down his teammate, who's chasing down the Aston Martin of Simon. Ranger trying to get that fuel eking that fuel out. Bunny struggling in the McLaren down there in 11th. Jim in the Ferrari in 12th. Electric in 13th, and we've lost Rido DNF. So Liam Anfield leading the way ahead of Homesick Alien, and we've got 4.5 minutes of racing. That's about 3 more laps of racing to do here at Monza for round 9 of the GTMC Season 5. We'll just have to relish every last minute, as we've only got 1 more round after this one, and then it's goodbye to the GTMC for 2021. We won't see it return until the new game's out, GT7, and we might see some totally different manufacturers involved in that, depending on what teams we are given. So Simon's pitted. Simon has pitted. Is that a 3rd pit stop for Simon? So Pat is now up into 7th place, ahead of Turtle. Ranger gets a position out of it in 9th. Can Bunny also get a position? It looks like he is. Oh, poor Simon. He was doing a cracking job there in 7th place. And he's out of the pits. He's out of the pits. He's still got 10th as Simon. Still ahead of Bunny, but Bunny's got the momentum coming down to the first Variante, and he's in. Oh, that was a lovely little move from Bunny. Very nippy indeed for Bunny. Just whipping up the inside of Simon into the first chicane. Cracking stuff. Meanwhile, Liam Anfield out there leading the way. Super work from Liam Anfield with Homesick Alien in 2nd place. Sharon in 3rd. Uncle B doesn't seem to be closing that gap, and it looks like a sure in for Sharon for 3rd place. Cracking stuff. We've got 2.5 minutes left of racing. Liam Anfield still leading the way. Homesick Alien does look to have closed the gap a little bit. A 50.1 from Liam Anfield last time around as he goes into the first Variante. And Homesick Alien really on his case now. Homesick Alien, he's suffering from tyre wear on that front left tyre, with Liam's tyres looking in a better state, but Homesick Alien in a better position for fuel. Liam maybe having to lift a little bit more than he'd like around here. A 1 stop around Monza is a very brave move, because you're on the throttle pretty much 70-80% of the lap. So Liam Anfield trying to protect that lead and his fuel tank, where Homesick Alien now into the last couple of minutes, he feels he's got enough fuel to go full deck against the Porsche. The Porsche might be looking under fire here. This is a crazy ending. Sharon solid 3rd place with Uncle B trying to chase him down, and there is Shadow Rider ahead of Jokers, and Pat in 7th ahead of Turtle in 8th. Ranger, oh, he can't get that fuel tank to last, it seems. We've got just over a minute left of racing. Maybe Ranger can get that fuel to go. Simon in 10th, got himself back ahead of Bunny. Unbelievable stuff, and Simon's getting purples. And there we see Liam Anfield, his fuel is flashing. They've got a minute left. They're going to have to do another lap as they go around the Parabolica. Homesick Alien is okay with fuel at the moment, and it's looking very shady for Liam Anfield. We've seen him only just getting to the end of races before with this 1 stop, and Homesick Alien just blasts past the Porsche, and this is very, very strange. And very good for Homesick Alien. That puts him in a great championship position, closing the gap even more to give us a huge showdown at Suzuka between these two drivers. And Homesick Alien's fuel is now flashing. Liam's is very low. We've got 20 seconds left. And oh my lord, Sharon has been caught up. I thought that podium was a defo, but he's been closed up by Uncle B Darren, and these two are going to have a final lap showdown, it seems. Shadow Rider, he's also got across the line to do this last lap, and so has Jokers in 6th, and it's Ranger. I bet he can't believe his luck, finishing in 9th place. and that fuel wouldn't have gone. Another one. Simon's crossed the line in 10th. 11th for Bunny. And the two Ferraris on home soil is finishing in 12th and 13th. And I imagine they are not pleased in the Ferrari garage at all. At all. So there goes... Oh, Jim, he's not there yet. So Homesick Alien bringing her on home. And Liam Anfield, is he going to run out of fuel? Will Shiren take points away from him? Shiren getting purples, trying to chase down Liam Anfield. There's a huge chasm between them, but if Liam runs out of fuel, and there we go, Homesick Alien getting very close to the final of this race, and it's another win for the Alien. Absolutely cracking stuff in the Nissan as he comes over to take the checkered flag for the win. Super stuff. Liam Anfield does get the fuel to last and gets himself second place. Shiren does maintain that third. Uncle B really put the pressure on that last lap, but Shiren gets the final podium position. Take a boo, my son. Uncle B crosses the line for fourth. Shadow Rider grabbing himself a great fifth. Jokus in the end defending from Pat. Pat trying his hardest to get that sixth place, but he's gone wide in Parabolica, so it looks good for Jokus to get sixth place. Super stuff from the Jokus. Pat in seventh, and Turtle will finish in eighth place. Further back there, he's in the Parabolica at the moment. Phew, what a race. So, oh gosh, Homesick Alien, isn't that a double win? Didn't he win the sprint as well with the pole and fastest lap? He didn't get the fastest lap in this race though. So Homesick Alien maximising his points best he can, and taking that fight all the way to Suzuka. Cracking stuff. We've still got drop scores yet though. I don't know when they're released, but drop scores might play a big part in this championship. But at the moment, Homesick Alien doing everything he can to keep this championship alive all the way to Suzuka. And Liam Anfield, damage limitation it seems today for him here at Monza in the Porsche. Staying with the Alien best he can. Cracking stuff then for second place. Shiren getting that final podium position. A cracking race he ran to get third on the podium. Uncle B put all the pressure he could at the end of the race to try and grab that podium from Shiren, but Shiren just defended like a god. There, Shadow Rider in fifth. He had an up and down race. He had a little off, and he had to fight his way back up again. And he managed fifth in the end for the Porsche Marquis. Jokus having to take that extra stop in a very thirsty Jaguar. Grabs himself sixth at the end of it. Seventh for the BMW of Pat. Ahead of his teammate Turtle in eighth. We've seen those guys finishing line astern so often this championship. It's a great combo in that BMW outfit. Then Ranger trying to get the one stop to work for him. Only just though. He was on fumes at the end there. Simon had to take an extra stop just near the end of the race in 10th. Bunny in 11th. We don't know what happened to Bunny. He was up there at the sharp end fighting hard, but somehow dropped back to 11th. And the two Ferraris were at the back in 12th and 13th. And I imagine the contract negotiations for next season are going to be fairly simple. I think it's going to start with an F and end with an off for both drivers. And but I don't know, like I said, the next season of GTMC, I believe, probably will be on GT7. So maybe the Ferraris will be much improved. We will see. So here are your final classified results. Homesick Alien taking the win from Liam Anfield. Shiren in third. Uncle B Darren finishes in fourth. Shadow Rider in fifth. Joker sixth. Pat got seventh. Turtle in eighth. Ranger in ninth. Simon got 10th. Bunny got 11th. Jim got 12th. Electric got 13th with Rido, a DNF somewhere along the line there, and Shiren got your fastest lap with a 147.751. So that is the GTMC. The next stream you will have is the V-Dub Bug Enduro Cup on Sunday evening. Join us live for that. I haven't spoken to Skyjacker about pit stop. I assume we're doing a pit stop at 5 today, but I don't know. I'll have to find out. Maybe not. And then next week we have the final round of... Well, no, we've got second round of the GT3 World Endurance Series. That first round was absolutely cracking. A corker, they may say, at Fuji. So the second round we'll be seeing is at Suzuka, as is the GTMC's last round at Suzuka. And it's going to be a showdown between Liam Anfield and Homesick Alien. They're taking the championship right to the final round, and that is exciting stuff for us. And then Friday nights, don't forget, we're live with the McGann trophies and the Super Formulas. That championship is turning into a fruity one as well. Turtle saying, hope you will be there. Nothing is decided yet. No, it's going to be a replay, I'm afraid. Thursday evening, I've got work. So, yes, the final will be on a replay. And then we've got, following that, Sunday, the V-Dub Bug Enduro Cup. So thank you for joining us here at the Virtual Racers Club. Don't forget, we've got a website if you want to check out what we're up to. It's www.virtualracersclub.co.uk, and all of the tables are on there up to date if you need to check that out. We have a Discord. That's where all the action happens, all the sign-ups to the championships. Please join our Discord. All of the links, I believe, are in the About section of this YouTube channel. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Not for me, but for YouTube. It's something they love. So thank you very much. I was your broadcaster and your commentator, Hugh Jass. Thank you for checking us out, and we will see you next time. Peace and love. Peace and love.